Welcome to another edition of Joyce Kitchen. And like I promised you last week, today we're going to learn how to make AKARA. I know I said AKARA the last edition. That's the way Americans say it. But we say AKARA. This one a real AKARA, home food from Nigeria. Enjoy watching. AKARA, we're going to have beans. This is just 1 pound of beans. And this is it. Black eye beans. And we have to have palm oil. We're going to use just a little bit of palm oil, like a cup of palm oil. We're going to use 2 cups of canola oil. Like I told you the last time, it's my favorite. But over here is a mixed combination of both already. Because I do this a lot. And this is palm oil and canola oil. This is what we're going to use. We're going to use no bouillon, my favorite. We're going to use salt to taste. And we're going to need some onion. This is a little onion, a little clove onion. Not medium, just a small one. And this is optional. This is 1 habanero. Optional. So if you want it spicy, you slice 1 habanero. If you don't want any spice, don't put habanero. Because it's kind of, it adds a kick to it, like I said. Now, to eat the AKARA, we're going to need custard. Some people use akamu, eko, but in this house we use custard. I'll show you how to make it. Now, we have our sliced onions here, and I'm going to show you a quick way of how to get the shell out or the shaft out of the black eyed peas. Right now, I'm going to soak the black eyed peas. This is my tray. I put some water. I'm going to put water and just stir. I'm going to let this sit for like a minute, just a minute. While you're sitting, I'm working my fingers, through it so that it starts soaking the water. All I want is for the skin to soak a little water before I put it in the blender. Some people, though, they will just put it in the blender and pause, stop, and take the shaft out. But I do this a little bit just because I want to save the lifespan of my blades in the blender.
Right.
So now I'm going to put the black eyed peas in the blender. If you notice, I put it up to like a quarter. I'm going to fill it with water to half of the blender. Put it in the blender. And I'm going to just pause. Stop, pause, stop, until I can see that the shaft is up. So this is something I can do for like 6 or 8 times, like so. Then I'm going to pour this in a bowl. Put this in the bowl. Put that in the bowl. So this is what I blend. This is what I did the pulse for. This is how it is. And now I'm just gonna do this. I drain and make sure I don't get the beans in it. You see the difference? This is the shaft, this is the bean. Easy. I'm gonna add water and I'm gonna keep doing this until all the shaft comes out. This is it. This is it. I'm going to keep doing that until I get this. Now this is, if you notice there's still black eye in this bean, all I just do is squeeze it out and take the shaft out. Now I'm going to blend. I'm not adding a lot of water to this because this is a serious matter. No water. This is not moi moi. This is AKARA. So I'm just going to put my beans in like so. I put in the blender and I blend. I'm going to hit the blend button. I shake, I stop. I shake, I blend, I stop. I take my spoon. After you've turned off the blender though, take your spoon, you stir that, you blend. Now, When I see it this way, now it can't blend no more. Remember, there was water in here. All I do is just take like 3 spoons, full spoons of water, or 4. Stir that and blend again. When it can't blend no more, I stop. I blend again until I get this consistent. If you look at this, this is thick. It's not thin. You get a paste-like consistent. Now, this is the blended beans that the black-eyed beans we cleaned. We let it sit for a little bit and we started blending. Now, I want to show you. You have to really stir. This is where, if you don't stir very well, when you cut to fry, it shatters in the oil. So you have to like really turn this. Turn. Now I'm going to season. I've done quite a bit. I'm going to season with 3 teaspoons of naan. Just 3. Because we're going to add a little salt. And I'll stir again. Stir very well. When I was little, this used to be every Saturday delicacy. You know, you eat akara and akamu. It was delicious. And thank God some of us can do this for our families. It's still a delicacy today. So I'm going to test this. So I'm going to add a little more salt. Like I said, I don't measure, but this should be like a teaspoon of salt. You don't want it too salty. You just have to keep turning. You have to keep mixing it. I'm going to add a little bit. So you added 1 teaspoon. You can add another teaspoon. Remember, just teaspoon, or you just keep tasting because it's salt to taste. Now I'm putting my onions and my pepper in it. Sometimes I stir fry the onion before I put it, if I have all the time in the world. But this is the traditional way of making this. Now, my oil, I told you, a cup of palm oil or half cup of palm oil. You don't really need a lot. Half cup of palm oil and 2 cups of canola oil or any oil of your choice. And I already have it in the stove. I've set it to heat up a little bit. How do I know it's ready? Now I'm going to just start frying. This is how I know it's ready. It has to be hot. When I put my akara in it, you see how it's sizzling? It's frying instantly. It should do that. Now I'm just going to cut and fry. I usually use a tablespoon because that way everybody can enjoy it. If I use a bigger spoon, then it won't be enough for everyone. And the fire is on, it's high. It's on high heat. But I'm going to reduce it after I finish putting my spoonful of akara in the oil. It's have to be careful. Don't put any on top of each other. Check the space. I guess I've done this a million times. Now, right now, I'm going to reduce my heat to medium. The reason is because I want the akara to cook in the inside. I want it to cook from the inside. If I leave it high, it's going to burn and the inside won't be cooked. So I've put it on medium and I take my fork. I'm going to slowly try to lift the akara up. Usually they lift up by themselves, but sometimes you have to give them a little help. So I'm lifting up a little bit so they can float. Now they're floating. See? This is what it should look like. You see how it's floating? It's coming out looking good. And all these are going to be crunches in it. Delicious. While that is cooking, I remember the first edition I said I was going to teach women how to survive in the marriage, how to make it work. And I know the first edition we talked about be a good listener. So today I'm going to talk about being humble, being the first to say I'm sorry, just for peace sake. There was a show we had yesterday, and I happened to pick peace. That was significant because peace is what keeps everybody together. That's the unity in any family. So if you are the peacemaker, trust me, there will be peace in your family and your marriage will work. So food for thought right there. So back to our AKARA, it's still a medium. And if you, now it's all, this is what it should look like. This is what it should look like. Put it nice and crunchy. And if you want that, this is how you get it. So this is going to cook for as long as it takes. I'm not going to tell you time because I haven't quantified it. It's going to cook as long as it takes. Once you start seeing it's brown on the bottom, then you flip over. That is getting ready. You see, I have just flipped this over. See the color. This color to this color is not the same. This is whiter and this is brownish. So I'm going to flip all of my AKARA right now. And I'll let it cook. This side is going to cook like the side I just flipped over. It's going to cook for a few minutes, just like the other side. So we'll let it cook. Now you notice that the heat was on medium. Now it's back to high because now we want it to just cook fast. It's cooked already inside. See, this is it. So it's not ready to be turned yet. So I'm going to flip it back so it cooks some more.